friend of mine was hit starved to death just because of beans. That the beans was not soft enough for a man to eat. I've experienced coma, go 3 times. I'm telling you my life history.
You saw those signs. What happened? You were in love. You just ignored the signs. Continue ignoring the signs now.
There is no marriage without fights. Let us not deceive ourselves. This is a man that I know that, oh yes, he hates me, but yet he loves me.
If your husband sexually abuses your child and you find out it's true, what are you going to do?
The man will definitely be reported.
Yeah.
But that does not feel me that I will divorce my husband. I want you to get that fact.
So basically, this is the craziest divorce conversation I have ever seen. I've only seen a couple of clips here and there, but I've not really seen the whole video. So let's take a look. This should be very interesting.
Prompt. Divorce is the only way out of an abusive marriage.
I mean, I will be very shocked if anybody actually disagree with this prompt, because by disagreeing with this prompt, you are indicating that even when there is abuse, the person is just supposed to stay. That means there isn't any amount of abuse that justifies divorce. But let's see if anybody actually stays back.
I can't stand abusive marriage anymore. I've experienced coma, go 3 times. I will advise, separate, say like 2-3 years, 4 years, and see the both partner will adjust. If it does not work, go for divorce. Let everybody say, calm down. Then let's see who is the devil and who was the angel.
I actually do find it impressive when older generation of women like this can actually change their position after everything they have experienced. I think part of the problem with a lot of this older generation of women is they have internalized their trauma from their abuse to the point, rather than teach their children to walk away, they want to teach their children to endure the very same thing they endure. So it's actually nice to see that there are still older generation of women out there who wouldn't support that kind of a thing.
I don't believe that divorce is really way to save a marriage personally, but if someone can abuse you in a relationship, if someone can lift their hand up to hit you, why are you married to that person? What are you doing there?
Can the disagreeers now speak?
Okay, divorce is not the only way out. Think back. It has not always been beating now. There were real good times. Think back about that good times. Think back on how you started. You would definitely find a loophole somewhere. I hate beating, but no one is a saint. You will not die inside that marriage.
Amen.
You will not die inside the marriage. Go ask Osinachi, the gospel singer, that question. I'm pretty sure there were women like this who told her she wasn't going to die in that marriage. And today she's dead. And the husband is facing, I believe, a death sentence. And all of their children are going to become orphans. All because of what? Because of the protection of the institution of marriage. So yes, you will die inside that marriage. And that's some people's story. I've forgotten where I saw the data recently that over 300 women in 2025 have died from domestic violence. 300. And you have women like this saying you will not die in the marriage. It's sad.
Go away. Stay separate.
The only reason I'm on this side is because of the word only. Divorce is not the only way, actually. Even legally, there's something called judicial separation, which means that you are legally allowed to stop cohabiting with this person for the reasons that you would ordinarily divorce that person. Because even when you go to the courts, the first thing they ask you as a legal practitioner is, have you advised the client on reconciliation? If there is any chance that the parties will reconcile, the courts would stop that proceeding to tell you, go and reconcile. So divorce is not aimed at actually separating people. The whole concept of divorce happens when the marriage has broken down irretrievably. Simple. At the same time, there should also be attempts to protect the party being abused. There are laws that protect people. The Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. Lagos State has adopted the domestic violence law as well. That can give you protective orders while you're separate from this person. And in this moment, it is left for that person to now prove that he is no longer a threat. Also, there's been so much focus on physical abuse. Abuse can be psychological, it can be sexual, it can be financial. It's not just the physical abuse. The courts in one of the cases said a dropping water melts away the stone. It might be minor acts, which in themselves, they do not amount to reasons to divorce, but when you accumulate them, it amounts to reasons to divorce. Even the courts recognize that.
No wonder. He seems to have a very, very nuanced and educated perspective on divorce itself. So I'm not surprised he's actually a legal practitioner. I mean, this is what I would expect a legal practitioner that has actually handled divorce cases say.
I'm married and a year and 3 months now. I'm pro-divorce because I don't think divorce is a problem. I think divorce is rather a solution to a problem.
I'm just going to start with this. I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist, but I can't prefer a solution as to what anyone should do. I'm still quite young, but I'm going to say that at the end of the day, we've convinced ourselves that divorce is the cure-all answer to it. And it's really wild because based on the data, the people who have divorced, right, and gone into second and third marriages have way less chances of it succeeding. It's 67 for second marriages and 73 for third marriages. Even when we're not talking about abuse, people just think it's normal. People just think, I mean, it's degeneracy to society. The analogy I love to use is, imagine
Why is it a degeneracy for two people who cannot continue to live together as husband and wife choose to go their separate way? What is degenerate about that? I'm happy he said that he's quite young, and he shows in his very ignorant opinion that somehow it's degeneracy for two people that have acknowledged and understand that they couldn't continue to live together to go their separate way. We should wait till they kill themselves. How many couples do we know who have ended up killing the other one, which could easily be avoided if they were all just simply went their separate ways? So why are we trying to demonize people who choose the peaceful solution of separation and going on their separate ways than the more violent one where couples are killing themselves in their homes? Why is that a degeneracy?
society like a body, like a human body, right? And the family is the cells of that society. When you begin to break it off one by one, it causes, you don't know the effects. So saying divorce is just a cure-all excuse and normalizing it is like saying we shouldn't drink liquid because we have the chance of choking. It doesn't make sense.
Honestly, that is the dumbest analogy I've ever heard. I don't even understand what he's trying to say with that analogy, honestly.
What happened to dialogues? What happened to having a conversation? Because before the two of you got married, you courted, you saw those signs. What happened? You were in love, you just ignored.
I don't know what the age of these people are, but a lot of them speaks like a 5-year-old child. You think people that have been violent towards each other, they are abusing each other, you think they've not tried dialogue at all? You think people who made the choice to marry somebody choose to say they want to spend the rest of their life with somebody before they get that divorce, they've not attempted that dialogue? I mean, I don't know where they get this kind of people from.
The signs. Continue ignoring the signs now. Why did you have to know? That is hold.
Okay, so here is a guy who is pretending everybody is supposed to be a mind reader. So you are supposed to have known from the beginning what your partner is going to do in 10, 20 years time to avoid it. I mean, how do these people's brain operate?
Except you didn't see the sign, and nobody can say they did not see even the slightest bit of signs that this person could be abusive. I have been there. I have been abused. What did I do? I called my partner. What's going on? What's happening? Why is this thing happening? We had the conversation. You can't just say, oh, divorce is going to solve the issue just like that. It doesn't. Okay, you get divorced, and then what?
A friend of mine.
Yeah, but that's the problem. That's why most of issues with divorce are termed irreconcilable differences. It means you've had the conversation, you just couldn't reconcile. So I don't understand this one where people just say, oh, you just divorced. No, people just don't divorce. It is a difficult, in some cases, painful process for a lot of people to go through. It's not something somebody just wake up on the wrong side of the bed as they say, oh, I want divorce. That's not the way it works. I mean, I feel embarrassed for a lot of those people. I think if you are going to bring people on to discuss divorce, I think they should actually bring on people who are much more knowledgeable on the subject. than these guys who seems like they are probably even still virgin and have not dated in their lives.
Was hit starved to death just because of beans. That the beans was not soft enough for a man to eat. The argument started. Okay, let me go and cook it more. He said, why is it taking so long? Just for the woman to say, it's beans. You allow it to soft and he said it's too strong. Bah! Started punching the woman. She retaliated to save her life. The next thing the man did, he picked a bottle beside him. A pregnant woman with 3 months child in her womb. Before she rushed to the hospital, she passed away.
I think that is a very wild story. If it is actually true, I don't think this is just about abuse. I think we are talking about people who are mentally challenged here. How do you stab your wife because of a beans that is not well cooked? How do you do that?
And my name is Elizabeth Udo. I'm 54 years old. I'm a divorcee of 11 years now. Hitting every time. Little thing a man will provoke, little thing I will provoke. People say marriage is adorable, it's not enduring. As long as there is no hitting, no abuse, both from the husband or from the wife.
I feel like the topic they've been using is too subtle for you guys. So you have a child. Male or
Yes, I
female?
do. Male.
You have children, sorry. Male or female?
Male, female.
Ah, beautiful. Okay, so like, we've been talking about physical abuse since. Let's say, for instance, now, your husband sexually abused your daughter. Are you going to
God
stay with him?
forbid.
God forbid.
It's actually a very good question to ask, because part of the problem with a lot of these so-called anti-people who are anti-everything, anti-abortion, anti-divorce, most of the time is because a lot of them have actually never been in a position where they have to make a decision about such. If you had to make the decision to either protect your child or you protect the husband that sexually assaulted and abused the child, I think your opinion is actually going to be a lot different. So I think a lot of people have this very flimsy opinion of all of this issue. It has actually not happened close to home. So they don't know what it feels like. To them, it's just a topic of discussion.
But it happens. These are things that happen. Will you stay with him after?
First and foremost, let me tell you the truth. I would definitely want to find out that thing. But
No.
I'm sorry, you have to be somebody who have been so brainwashed to not give a yes or no to that question. That your daughter have been sexually abused and you want to bend over backward to find a way to excuse why you should stay with a man that sexually assaulted and abused your child. No, there is something more to this. This cannot just be ordinary.
So if your daughter come and meet you, start asking her, is it true or not? If your husband sexually abused your child or your wife sexually abused your child, and you find out it's true, what are you going to do?
You know the beautiful thing about that question? I'm going to consider priorities. If I leave my spouse, all right, what consequence do you think will be greater? Leaving that marriage is not going to reverse the emotional trauma. If I'm a mother and I didn't have any education whatsoever, I don't have a 9-to-5 job, I don't make any form of money at all, and I know I need that for financial assistance, I'm going to say, look, I'm prioritizing my daughter's or my son's future ahead of this abuse. This abuse,
This is the reason why you don't bring children to talk about conversations that adults are supposed to have. You are going to prioritize the man, so you will keep your child with the very same man that has abused and sexually assaulted your child. You keep that man and stay with him and keep that child with him so that he continues to get the opportunity to continue to damage the child by sexually abusing and assaulting that child. How is this not insane? That rather than walk away, you will stay with the man who sexually abused your child so that he continues to get the opportunity to continue to sexually abuse your child. That is sickening.